All right, Mr. Mack.
All right, so this will be a shorter one, but Harold is asking, what are our thoughts on wearing black thermal long johns under a kilt?
In Minnesota right now? Sure.
The it's I wouldn't. It's horses for courses. If you're going to be outside and shoveling the driveway in a kilt, and you really, really want to wear a kilt to shovel your driveway, sure, wear a pair of long johns. Would I wear it as a regular thing running around? No, because to me it would look weird. I mean, it's a kilt. In my brain, when you're wearing a kilt, you should see a bit of knee. Period. It's part of the outfit. It's part of the look. So a kilt is worn to top to middle of the knee, and then your kilt hose come about 3 fingers breadth below the bottom of the knee. So you'll want to see a little bit of flesh right there. If it's freezing cold outside, and you're going to be outside for an extended period, sure, but I would question your sanity wearing a kilt at that point. Yeah, that's kind of where I would go with it.
Yeah, I've got merino and thermal underlayers, and I have a couple where I've cut them off, so they're kind of like a little longer than bike shorts, and I've used those on extreme weather days if I wanted to go kilted, like hiking or something. Yeah, I mean, context is the thing. So a lot of time I just don't care. I will wear some kind of underwear if it's super cold, and I'll have the thicker of my kilt hose on.
Yes.
Like the hand nets, I'll use those. But I would only do full length leggings if it was really cold and I was doing like an extended hike thing. But honestly, yeah. And in those cases, to be perfectly honest, I'd probably be using like a utility kilt or something anyway. I wouldn't be having a wool kilt. So at that point, who cares?
Yeah,
it's about at that point it's about the movement potential than the look for me, because the raccoons really don't care about my tartan.
Yeah, and the other thing I would potentially do is I would, knowing that I overheat, especially if I'm going to be hiking or you're doing some kind of physical activity, then I would possibly wear a kilt with bike shorts or something like that, and then or long johns cut off, and I would still wear kilt hose, and then if I got if my knees themselves were cold, I would just pull the kilt hose up.
You can pull the cuffs up.
Exactly, I pull the cuff up.
Yeah,
and then that way. But if I'm in the woods, I'm not trying to impress anyone with looks.
So who cares?
It's form follows function. But I wouldn't plan for failure. I would plan for little things here and there. I don't know.
Yeah, you know who wore leggings with kilts? George IV. He had these pinkish flesh tone colored leggings that he wore when he was in Scotland.
And
for that. Oh man,
Yeah.
I got mocked mercilessly for it.
And that's why he wore flesh tone ones.
But they could still tell,
I know, and it's
stupid.
the funniest thing. The funniest thing ever to me is when we go to a festival, and we're selling a kilt, and it's a younger kid or somebody who's a little bit unsure of themselves, like I want to get a kilt, okay, and then they want to wear their pants under the kilt, or they have like long shorts on. Well, it's fine. I'll just leave my shorts on underneath it. But like, why? It look like you can tell they're sticking out the bottom, or you're wearing pants. It looks weird. No. It looks dumb. Stop. Don't do that. Like, no. It's fine. It's fine. Because they're so self-conscious that they have to wear it. It looks weird. It doesn't look right with the outfit. You're taking two things and mashing them together, and it doesn't work right. There is a degree of form follows functions for heat, but not if you're going to get teased. Not that you really have to care about getting teased if you're strong enough personality, but it's just like George Ford or like anybody. If you're wearing it, you have to expect some level of razzing for, you need to wear tights underneath your pants, or you need to wear long johns, because it's not normal for Highland wear.
You might find you're more comfortable than you expect, honestly. I mean, I've had my knees get a little chapped some years, but of course, winters have not been that bad around here lately. But it's Mac was trying to get a
No,
word in edgewise.
Rocky said what I was going to bring up was
Yeah.
about pulling the
It's pulling the
top
cuff
of
up over
the
your
kilt
knees
hose up.
temporarily.
And we read accounts in War One of guys going through thick brush and pulling them up and weren't pulling them up
Exactly.
over that, or in colder climates before they had to send their kilts back to supply and then got issued truce for the winter, of them pulling the kilt hose up and wearing them that way just because of warmth. So
Yep.
yeah,
or
that
if
was
if the kilt gets wet, where it like saws
Yep.
at the back of the leg, you pull the kilt hose up so it's sawing at the back of the kilt hose, not your back of your leg.
Yep, especially with it being freezing and everything like that. Yep, the guys were doing that all the time.
Yep,
so.
But I will say that underscores the fact that the whole bit about you're a real Scotsman, you're so tough that you don't feel the cold is kind of bullshit. Okay, you're in the trenches, you're soaked, you're fighting trench foot and everything. You're gonna do what you gotta do to stay warm, and physics is physics. Okay, blood flow is blood flow, nutrition is nutrition, and yeah, you may be more inured to the cold than other people, but that doesn't mean you're not gonna try and take care of yourself.
Yeah.
So, I think there's some serial kilters who don't even they don't own a single pair of pants. And they are the guys I know who are more likely to use a pair of leggings with a kilt if it's super cold and they have to be out for a long time, because there is no other option. They're not going to throw on a pair of jeans because they don't own a pair of jeans. So,
and we had a comment here that just came through a little bit ago that said, well, maybe this is a case for trues in that situation. If it is that cold,
And you
maybe,
just said it.
Maybe that's where you go.
You just said they were, and in World War I, they'd be issued those for the winter. Yeah. So,
Yep. Absolutely.
anyway.
All right.
You'll look better without them, but do what you got to do.
Okay.
Looking good? Practicality. Where do they intersect for you? Tell us in the comments. One thing we didn't mention there, I think, is that practice counts for something. The more you wear the kilt in cold weather, the more you get used to it. You get used to the fact that your legs might feel a little cold, but your core is fine. So how have you changed your attitude about the weather the longer you've worn the kilt? Tell us that too. In the meantime, stay warm, guys.